I have a client, he's a Boeing retiree, and I was just walking him to the front door of my office the other day. I meet with him a couple times a year, and we had just finished talking about the inflation bubble when that thing popped, and he was just so pumped that he had lost way less than he expected to actually lose relative to the market. And he kind of stopped, and I'm shaking his hand, and he's on his way out the door, and he said, "Hey Chris, I hope you don't take this personal, but how did we meet?" And I said, "That's funny you should ask that. I have these relationships with these clients I've been helping for years, and a lot of times I forget how we met." And I said, "Well, actually, I think you filled out an online form and we met over the internet." And he said, "Oh man, I am glad I filled out that form and took your phone call." So that's what I shoot for in my practice, is that feeling of peace of mind and confidence in retirement and that kind of thing, because that guy would not have been able to retire if he would have lost as much as everyone else when that inflation bubble popped. I thought this video on 3 ways to pick a financial advisor and how it can benefit your bottom line would be helpful if you're out there in the world and you're kind of doing it yourself, or you just have that target date fund in your 401k, or maybe your financial advisor kind of isn't producing the type of results you're looking for and you're thinking to yourself, I wonder if there's anything better. So if I haven't met you yet, my name is Chris Reed. I'm the owner of Capital Partners Wealth Management, and I make these videos because between running this company and managing finances and being an Uber driver to get my kids to all their sports, I just don't have the time to meet with everybody. And if I can help somebody through one of these videos just have a little bit better financial life, that's what I'm here for. So the first step to finding a financial advisor is you got to talk to someone. And I know that sounds easier than it probably is, because first of all, money's a personal thing. You probably know more about your friend's darkest health secrets. You probably know more about your friend's worst health problems than you do about their money. They could be broke or they could be rich. You probably don't know. Money's a very personal thing and it's kind of hard to talk about. When you layer on top of that, money complicates everything. Whenever money gets involved, relationships get strained. You don't know who to trust. We all know that the Wolf of Wall Street is out there, right? Trying to sell you the pink sheets. And so it makes it difficult to even reach out and take that first step to even begin to start to trust us, to even begin to start trusting someone. And I get that, but you have to do it. And how you meet that person kind of doesn't matter, kind of does. More and more people are meeting financial advisors online these days. A lot of times people get referrals, but referrals can be a double-edged sword. I have a client who moved over from a big high-powered financial advisor, and when we finally went through and looked at all the fees and commissions and everything that were coming out, and there's another video on my channel about this, it turns out that they had just gotten caught in that Wall Street trap. At the end of that, when he finally brought his accounts over, he said, "Oh, I feel kind of terrible. I referred my buddy to this guy because I've had such a good experience over time." And that'll happen because over a long enough period of time, if the market goes up and up and up, every financial advisor is going to look like a rock star. At the end of the day, what really kind of matters is the amount of money in your account. You have to open up, have that initial conversation, answer that phone call, have that first appointment. There's no rule that says you got to do business with someone. The second tip I have for finding a financial advisor is to interview multiple people. You have to be looking for a couple different things. You have to be looking for like a personality fit. It doesn't matter what kind of rate of returns you get. If you do not like going to that person's office, that's probably not going to bring you a lot of happiness, which is what this is all about. Everyone out there might have a different take on how to bring different solutions to your problems. Now, to be fair, 90% of the industry is going to kind of stuff you in a box, buy you a bunch of mutual funds and tell you to buy and hold. And I get that. But maybe out there in the world, if you have that specific problem, someone has kind of like a creative solution for you, they might be a better fit. And so in my firm, I believe people deserve transparency, honesty, and straight talk. Once you have gone out there and gathered those things from those different advisors and you make your decision, just pick up the phone or shoot a quick email and let them know and continue with the process. Because it doesn't matter if a doctor tells you to take the best drugs on earth. If you don't actually go home and take them, they're not going to do any good for you. And the final tip is to actually know what the word fiduciary means and to make sure the person you're talking to, it applies to them and their business model. So I had a client at the end of a first interview, just hand over all his account statements, say, "Fine, do it." And I said, "Whoa, that's not how this works, right? I got to make sure that you like being here. I want you excited for what we're about to do." And I said, "Don't you have any questions for me?" And he said, "Yeah, like what?" And I said, "Well, don't you want to know if I'm a fiduciary?" And he said, "No, because every stinking person I talk to tells me they're a fiduciary." Now, there's a reason for that. And there's an old video on my YouTube channel here. You can find it somewhere where I actually go into the mathematics behind it. But the bottom line is, according to Tony Robbins in his book, Unshakable, there's only 5% of us in the industry that are actual fee-only fiduciaries. So if you think about it, you stand a pretty low chance of actually finding one. So then why does everyone hold themselves out as a fiduciary? Because Wall Street learned a long time ago that people love that word, that that's what they're looking for, that that's what they're told to go find. Am I saying out there that financial advisors are not working in your best interest? Absolutely not. They're probably doing the best they absolutely can the way they were trained to do it. But if you want to make sure that your money's being stewarded by someone at a low cost, a low flat fee, all those things you've been told to look for, you really have to understand what that fiduciary word means. So thanks for watching. If you want to know what your retirement income is going to be, or if you have enough for retirement, there's going to be quizzes down below below. If you click on one of those links and fill that out, you may not get a response right away with how busy we are around here, but at some point someone will reach back out to you and just kind of give you a glimpse into your financial future. So we hope that would be helpful for you. If you ever need help with anything, there's links all over the place to grab an appointment or reach out with an email. And when we get the time, we'll see if we can help you out. Thanks.